My name is Dr. Jonathan Gray, Project Director of the SCP Foundation's Optical Containment Initiative. The goal of this project is to identify, contain, and study anomalous optical phenomenon. This could range from a small cave in the Rockies that distorts the viewer's perception of colors to full-blown entities made out of pieces of the electromagnetic spectrum. The latter is my main field of expertise, given that I am one of those said entities. I was split into 8 pieces corresponding to different colors, and my personal goal is to hunt down my clones and hopefully find a way to bring us together. I have a staff of highly competent researchers here at the facility. They have been a great help in introducing me to the realm of anomalous optic physics. It's not really that different from normal optics. After you learn to predict the unpredictable, things just fall into place, so it would seem. Along with the staff, I have a mobile task force at my command. Task Force Gamma Theta, or PRISM mates, as they like to call themselves, insert facepalm here, are a highly trained team of individuals with high tolerance to anomalous optical illusions and cognitohazardous materials. A cognitohazard is anything that can cause harm simply by perceiving it, i.e., a set of runes or symbols that, when read, cause madness. Incidentally, the sun is also cognitohazardous if you stare at it long enough. The PRISM mates are sent out into the field to gather intel and potentially retrieve objects. Under my command, they have managed to contain 5 anomalous objects, and most recently, 1 anomalous humanoid. This humanoid has been identified to be a man named Paul Red. He is a 100% genetic match to me, and has been confirmed to be one of my clones. He is being held in one of the containment cells at Site-14, and I plan on conducting an interview with him shortly. On another note, I have noticed some peculiar social structures here at the Foundation revolving the command structure. It appears that all the Foundation employees here have been assigned a number from 1 to 5 in terms of security class, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest in command. Level 1 employees are often researchers or janitors. They are not really told much about what goes on here. As you move up the chain of command, you can slowly start to get a better picture of the, quote, morality of the Foundation. I have been assigned a level 2 security class. This means that I have been made aware of the rather distasteful use of human test subjects. Apparently, the Foundation's Ethics Committee has no problem sending in death row inmates into deadly scenarios purely for the purpose of research. I personally have no desire to send men and women to their deaths for such a heartless reason. I value life just enough to have the decency to feel disgusted by the act of indirect murder. The top of command here are known as the O5 Council, and I've been told that it is not wise to ask questions about this position. I have also noticed that even though I am officially a director of an entire project, I am still referred to as SCP-6290-1 by all of my superiors. This is my designation number in the Foundation database, with the machine I created that separated me labeled as SCP-6290. My higher-ups seem not to regard me as a human, but merely a complicated object. From what I gather, this is how all Foundation personnel regard anomalies in this world, whether they are humanoid or not. I can surmise that the only reason my staff don't talk to me like this is due to some order from higher up. Perhaps they fear that I will be less compliant if I am treated like an object by my own team. Update on the SCP-6290 file. The addition of 6290-2 has been approved. SCP-6290-2 is one of the products of the PRISM incident. He is an exact clone of SCP-6290-1, except that his irises are a bright scarlet, and his personality is in stark contrast to his counterpart. He possesses no anomalous traits that would cause him to require special containment procedures, so he is held at a regular Foundation prison. The reason for his imprisonment is the involvement with the anomalous group of interest, the Global Occult Coalition. This organization is often at odds with the Foundation due to their desire to destroy anomalies rather than contain them. The members of the GOC are attempting to protect the world from the supernatural by killing and destroying dangerous and non-dangerous anomalies alike. Note: while I personally find the Foundation's cold and clinical method of regarding humans as objects distasteful, I would much rather prefer to be treated like an object rather than being hunted like a fox. End note. 6290-2 identified himself as Paul Red. His uniform was that of a squad leader, which is notable since it generally takes years to get anywhere in that organization. He apparently was captured in a Foundation raid off the coast of and is being held at the prison of Note: as soon as I received word of his capture, I made my way to the site to conduct an interview. I was accompanied by the warden and my security personnel. Recordings of the interview were released to me for further study. This is interview 1 of SCP-6290-2. Interviewer: SCP-6290-1, Dr. Gray. Interviewee: SCP-6290-2, Paul Red. Date: January 13th. Okay. SCP-6290-2, for the duration of this interview I will be referring to you as Red. Now, would you please tell me more about your involvement with the prismatic incident that occurred 3 months ago on November 13th?
Holy sh**. I knew you'd be different, but this is ridiculous. Look, Gray, I don't do all that formal inquiry stuff anymore. Talk to me like a normal person or I'm not talking.
Alright then. Red, what do you remember about the incident? I'm trying to piece together a full picture of the events leading up to and after the explosion.
That's a little better, I guess. I don't remember much, just the prison was acting weird.
How so?
It was doing some flashy thing and then started glowing when we put it on.
Do you remember anything about the explosion itself?
Yeah, it looked like it was sucking the color out of the room and then blasted out heat, like a supernova.
Blasted heat? What do you mean? I don't remember any heat.
I felt like I was being lit on fire from the inside and melted from the outside. It f***ing hurt.
And what about the aftermath of the explosion? What did you do after people started leaving?
You mean when you started running away like a headless chicken? I got ready to fight the clones that didn't run. But something about white and blue made me think twice. So I followed green out in the street.
What was it about white and blue?
First off, don't interrupt me, lab rat. And second, don't pretend like you didn't notice something fishy from those two. The way they looked at us, it was like tigers getting ready to pounce. Blue, actually left before I did. He did this little weird smile and walked off. White just stood there, watching me. It was like he wanted me to attack him or some shit.
Did you eventually catch up to Green?
No. He got away after about 30 minutes of chasing him around the city. I turned a corner and then boom, he was gone.
Have you managed to hunt down any of the other colors?
Not yet. When you have intelligence like ours, it makes it pretty hard to predict.
How did you end up with the GOC? And how did you move up the ranks so quickly?
Listen, the only reason I'm talking to you right now is because we both want to find the clones. I'll give you info about that and nothing else.
Why have they not killed you yet? Given the fact that you are a creation of the supernatural.
Piss off.
Red, may I remind you that we have the full capability to perform enhanced interrogation techniques in order to get the answers we need. I don't want to see a clone of myself go through that, but we at the Foundation are willing to do whatever it takes.
Gray, you have no idea what the Foundation is or what they do. You obviously don't have the stomach for this. You still feel for people. You'll never survive in this world. Go ahead. Torture me. Nothing can hurt me more than looking at a weak little shell of a man that wears my face.
This will conclude the interview. This is Dr. Jonathan Gray, signing off. He was right. I don't have the stomach for torture. I let a professional handle that. It felt wrong, but the Foundation needed to know more about the GOC in order to protect the anomalies in this world from destruction. They didn't manage to get anything. I would have pushed him harder then had I known that a GOC rescue party was on its way. After I had left the site, they performed a successful raid and managed to free several high-ranking GOC operatives, including Red. God, it felt so wrong seeing that military bravado coming from my clone. He said we had the same goal, though, to find the other clones. Maybe that's why he didn't try to kill me there in that cell. I've been thinking about White. What about him could have made Red so intimidated? I'm going to continue to document my thoughts on the matter here in my reports. I still believe what I'm doing for the Foundation is good. My name is Dr. Gray, and the path is clear before me.